What's poppin', people? Welcome back to another video. Thank you guys so much for the support. If you guys are new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button, hit the notification bell, also hit the like button if you guys have been enjoying the content. Today we're doing some bank fishing. Now let me explain why we are doing that. I really want to go on the boat right now. I really want to go on the kayak right now. But my main problem has been this last week. It's been raining so much. Every single day it's been raining, and we usually get like an hour to a 2 hour period of where we can actually fish. And another thing is I've graduated Saturday. I've been trying to get all of that out of the way. I'm graduating college. I'm excited about that. It's a big, chapter that I'm finally getting taken care of. I'm gonna be out of school, finally getting to do this full time. So I'm so excited about it. Ever since the start, I've been doing this around 8 years, but ever since the start, I've been in school. So I'm just so excited to get out and just pursue this whole dream, pursue this whole career full time and just go kill it with you guys. And I'm just so excited about it. I'm so pumped. I'm just so ready for school to be over. But yeah, today we're gonna be doing some bass fishing. We're gonna be trying to catch some big ones. The conditions are awesome. It's a lot of clouds in the sky. It's overcast. The pressure has dropped a little bit. It's been raining a ton. We're gonna see if we can catch some big ones today. So right now on my rod, I just brought out my Mock Crush. Like I said, I only got about an hour to fish. I have a shaky head with a prawn on it currently, but I have a bait that I want to trade this out for. So one, I got my pliers. And two, I got the bait that I'm going to be throwing today. This is actually the Quake 80 by 6 cents. If you guys are wondering about this color, it's in shad scales. If you guys want to get a discount, I'll pop the code up on the screen. You don't have to use it. It's just there if you want to. But yeah, we're going to tie this bad boy on. As you guys can tell, this is a natural color. It's got a little bit of white. It's got a little bit of flashiness to it. It's going to be awesome for this day. And this water clarity out here is actually really clear as well. So I think this natural color right here is going to do the trick. We're going to tie this bad boy on. This is actually the big one. It's not the Quake 70. This is the Quake 80. This is a big boy that a big bass is gonna eat. So we're gonna go ahead and tie this up and then start casting, see if we can hunt for a big bass. We're gonna cover a lot of water with the little time that we have. I hope we can crush it. We also got that big bass energy on today, so we're excited about that. We're gonna be on the hunt. Let's get it started. First things first, let's cut this shaky head off. We might end up coming back to it. That's the reason I didn't rig up before I came out here, because I was like, you know what? I'll just cut that off, and if I ever need it, that'll be perfect. Let's go ahead and get this Quake 80 out of the package. This is a big boy for a big bass. See, I've thrown the Quake 80s before in like the brown eye and some of the, crawfish color patterns. Never thrown a shad one. And this is just, trust me, this is a honking lipless right here. It's gonna take a big bass to eat it. I'm sure we could catch some small ones on it too, but in my opinion, it's gonna take a big one to eat this thing. All right, boys, we got this bad boy tied on. It is time to get her started. We're just gonna start fan casting. Last time I came out here was with Bradley. It was about 3 weeks ago. We had a few big fish. A lot of the big fish I didn't even put in the video. There's a bunch of big ones out here. You just got to find them. I'm just hoping that they're going to be biting today. There's some small ones in here too. Recently I've been catching a lot more smaller fish than big ones, but like I said, that doesn't mean anything. The big ones are lurking around here, and with the conditions today, it could be perfect for a big bite. There he is. Gosh, that's a big one, I'm pretty sure, guys. This is a big bass. Golly, what in the world? I got him hooked weird. I can't even move this fish. Oh my God, yeah. No way, we just got started. Oh yeah, that's a good fish. It's a solid like 3-pounder. Oh yeah, look at that, guys. Look at that right there. Look how he ate that Quake. That is awesome. That is awesome. Get our pliers out on this one. Oh yeah, that's a good fish to start off the day. He just loaded up on that sucker. This might be a really good bite. And we just got started. First cast, real cast out on that flat. And that's a solid almost 3-pounder right there. Beautiful fish. Lay him down. Look at that. It's an awesome bass right there. He ain't quite 3, but he's pushing up there. There he goes. Oh yeah, that fish felt so big. I think it was just the way that I had that bass hooked. Look at him swimming right under that grass. Water's super clear out here. That is awesome for the first fish today, guys. That's exciting. We're just gonna keep on casting, and hopefully we'll sack up one that's around 5-6 pounds. All right, first fish knocked off the list. You guys know that's always the hardest part of the day is just getting your first bass and building your confidence up. And to get that right off the bat, that's such a good sign. And it's got my confidence running. I think we can catch a few more really good fish. And that was a good bass right there on the quake. This is, like I said, the big quake right here. He just loaded up on that sucker. I was just reeling it across his flat and he just decided to grab it. I've seen a lot of activity right here. It seems like some bait is popping, some bass are chasing bait. Like I said, the conditions today are just panning out for that. So we're just gonna keep on casting. Let's see if we can hook some more. Ooh, ooh, he ain't that big. He hammered that sucker though. Oh, must have been a gator over there in that corner. That spooked me. Gosh, you hit that thing so good, buddy, for the size of you. Man, he loaded up on that thing good. I think that's the way to get him. I think I just figured out the way to catch him. It was actually exactly what I was doing on the last cast. I was kind of blindsided by it. But you know, the biggest thing is I'm throwing it out there. At least on these last two fish, I'm letting it hit the bottom. And then I'm just straight retrieving it, just burning it right there. That's what's triggering them to bite. But I think if you just throw it out there and you don't let it sink, I think you're gonna miss a lot of fish. I'm thinking a big thing to this is letting it hit the bottom and then burning that thing back in. That was a gator that hopped off the bank right when I flipped this thing on the bank, but pretty little fish, nothing big. Just throw him right back over there and get back in the water. I think we figured exactly how to work that bait right there for the fish to bite. So if we can continue to do that and catch a fish doing exactly like I was saying, throwing this bait out there, letting it hit the bottom, come up on that drop off, start to reel the bait on the flat, I think that's gonna be the key to our success. So I just threw it out there, I'm gonna let it hit the bottom just like that. Now I'm just gonna start burning this thing in. And that's exactly what we're doing. I think that's what's gonna catch them. Then these fish will just load right up on this thing. Ooh. Ooh. Ooh, guys. Guys. I can't tell how big this. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, he ain't that huge. He's a good fish, though. That's a 2 number right there. It's the way that they're eating this thing so crazy. It's just I'm reeling it on the bottom and they just load up on it and they feel so freaking big. Like, honestly, from the start of when I hooked that fish, it was in the back of my head that was like, is this even a fish? Like the way that they're feeling. I think it's because of the way I'm hooking them on their bottom lip. It's just crazy, man. Solid little tiny 2 pounder. Nothing bad. 3rd fish today. Can't even complain. Thank you, bud. These are some healthy fish too. They just got like a little gut on them. I'm gonna give him a little toss so I can get him a little bit of water out there. That is so awesome. That is so awesome. Same way that I caught those last 2. That's what I'm saying. Now we're figuring out a pattern. That's exactly what you got to do, is duplicate what works. So for all you guys that are, you know, new to fishing out there, having a hard time getting bites, you know, if you start to figure something out, just keep doing what you're doing. And if it continues to work, don't stop. Unless the conditions totally flop on you, conditions totally change and you have to adapt to that, and, you know, switch to something else or switch to a different retrieve or whatever that means. But if you guys figure something out, just continue to duplicate that. And the bite hasn't been super quick. That first one came off, you know, we caught that first one really fast, but you know, dude, next cast. See? This is what I'm saying. Oh yeah. This is exactly what I'm saying, man. This is exactly what I'm saying about getting a pattern right there. That's not even a big one. Oh my God. That's a little 1.5-pounder. Next cast though. Same thing, guys, all 4 fish. And I got them hooked the same way. That is the craziest thing. I'm pretty sure every fish we caught today has been hooked on the bottom lip. But the trick is to keep this bait on the bottom and just burn it. That's it. There's a bunch of grass out here, but as fast as I'm reeling it and getting it through that grass and popping my rod, you know, I'm not really getting all that stuff on there. But that's a pretty pound and a half fish right there. Another nice one. Literally next cast, man. This is exactly how it's supposed to go. Just keep it going. Keep her going. We might have fired those fish up too. That's a whole nother topic. Because, you know, there might be a school of bass out there, and now we caught 2 of them back to back. You know, they might be firing it up and wanting to eat. So, and they could be feeding on a bunch of bait down there, and that's the reason why we're catching them right here. So, you know, we just got to keep on going. We might end up, you know, looking into a really good bite. And if we find that hot spot, that hot cast, or that hot spot on this drop off out here, you know, you can just keep catching them. That's the glory of it. But we're gonna keep on going. That's the good thing about fishing offshore and not just throwing at cover all the time. You know, if you can find some structure offshore, whether it's a drop off, whether it's a big flat, whatever it is that you find fish stacked up on, you just keep that going. It's actually raining right now. It's not raining hard, it's like a little bit of sprinkle, but we just gotta keep this thing going. No way. Oh, that's a big one. I can't even move this fish. Oh, he's trying. Don't. Oh, yeah. Oh my God, they eat it the same way. This is 2 casts after those other 2. They are just down there. This one was on the drop off. He loaded up right before I came up on the drop off onto the flat. Yeah, that's a good fish. That might be a 3. Yep. That's a 3-pounder all freaking day. Oh, look at that right there. Look at that right there. I don't understand why these fish look so much smaller on camera. I actually have him hooked differently. Look at that, that's about the same size as that first one I caught. Freaking good fish. He was right there on the drop off. Like I said, once you fire him up like that offshore, dude, you can get into an insane bite, especially with these conditions right now. Pressure's dropping, fish are starting to bite. This is awesome. This fish is bleeding a lot. We're gonna get her right back in the water, but that's almost a 3-pounder. It's a 2 number. Beautiful bass right there. Pretty fish. That is awesome. She loaded up on the drop off. See, a lot of these fish, the last 2, right? See, I'm beaming out there as far as I can. There's a drop off about as far as I can rip off. I let that bait sink to the bottom. As I'm reeling, I'm feeling that quake come up that drop off right there. I'm feeling it come up. Those 2 fish before this one ate it up on the flat. Once it came up on the drop off, that fish was directly on the drop off. As I was feeling it bumping the bottom, coming up the drop off, he loaded up on it. Let's keep her going because we might have fired him up. You know, we might be able to just keep catching him. One thing I noticed, guys, you know, we walk this whole bank and we caught a fish here and then we caught a fish down there. But now we really figured out where they're stacked up. That is the glory of it. You guys got to cover water. You can't just sit in the same spot like I'm doing right this second and think that you're gonna catch them. You know, you gotta travel, you gotta figure out where these fish are at, and then once you find them, you hone in exactly like what I'm doing right now. This is how you just keep continuing to catch them. But you can't do this if you're sitting in the same spot the whole time. You need to walk around, you need to walk and cast, you need to cover water, you need to figure out where the fish are at. Just like a lake. Right there, look at that. None of these are like giants either, but they're active fish that are feeding right now. They're all locked in the same area. We caught 4 fish in the same spot right here, and the first fish came in the same spot too. So there's a ton of fish to be caught right here. The rain is starting to come in, I'm not gonna lie. I just don't want to leave right now because I feel like we're just firing them up. They're just gonna continue to keep biting if we just keep her going. This pressure's dropping with this rain and this storm that's pushing in right now. So that's making the bite even better. We're making the same cast, guys. Every single cast, the same exact cast, working it the same way and getting bites every single time. There he is. Oh, that feels like the best one yet. I'm being honest with you here. These fish feel so big. It's just the way they're eating it. This one actually, I think, is the biggest one. We caught 2 that were like 3 pounds, but this one I think is bigger. And he's not. It's a 2 number. Why do you feel so freaking big? It's a 2-pounder though. What is coming out of your butt? Oh my God, a fishing worm's coming out of his butt. Guys, I just caught this fish and it has a worm hanging out of his butt. Look at that. Just pulled that right out. That's nasty, man. This is why you don't throw your soft plastics in the water. And I also just pulled this dang worm right here, a little piece of a worm right out of his butt. That's nice right there. Little 2-pound fish. The rain stopped a little bit, but that's a pretty little guy. This guy is totally post spawn, I can tell right there. Really skinny bass, but pretty beautiful one. Throw him right back right there. He's on with his day. Let's keep her going. Same spot again, guys. It took us about 10 casts after that last one, but you know, I'm still believing in this spot. I just think there's so many fish stacked up down there that we can catch. What's up, guys? This is a couple hours later from where I left you guys off. It started to rain a little bit. I had to go get some other stuff done, but then it stopped raining. It's actually pretty nice outside. It's very humid. There's a bunch of cloud cover still, but the one thing that I'm curious about is the conditions are totally different from when we first came here. Right when we came out, the pressure was dropping, the storm was coming in, the rain just started to fall down, and you guys noticed something. The fish were biting. They were biting really good. But how are these fish going to be affected after that rainstorm that came through? I don't know. We're gonna find out today. We just got to keep on casting. If you guys were wondering where I left you guys off, I was standing right here on the bank. I was beaming all the way out on that drop off, and I would let my Quake right here, Quake 80, fall all the way to the bottom, and I would reel her in, and that was just triggering those bass to bite. And as we know, when that storm was coming in, there was a whole school of bass that was just out there, and they were munching. You know, we caught 5 or 6 standing in the same exact spot. So we're gonna try it out today. We're gonna start off on what we left off on, see if the fish are biting there, and if they're not, we're gonna have to figure out a new pattern to end up catching these fish. So let's go ahead and get it started. Please hit that like button if you guys have made it this far. Hit that subscribe button as well. Let's go ahead and hop into this. We're gonna keep on throwing the Quake 80. Let's see if we can catch a fish. Oh, bloop. There she is, guys. That was a cast that we were making the whole time. Oh my God, I forgot my pliers. Big mistake. Like I said, this is where we left off. We're gonna beam a cast all the way out here. As you guys can tell, I gave it everything. And we're right on the edge of that drop off. So like I said, letting the bait fall. Let's see if this technique that we were using earlier today is gonna work, because there's a big chance that they're not gonna be doing the same thing of when that storm is coming in and this post-storm that's already gone through. I don't know, but I guess we're gonna see. I guess we are going to see, and we're just gonna cast and try to figure out these fish. And like I said, if it's not working, we'll try something new. We'll figure something else out, and we'll learn from it. There he is. Oh man, that might be a big one. That's a decent one. Oh yeah, that's a good one. Guys, this is a good fish. This is definitely the biggest one on video. I have not had a bite yet, and that sucker just demolished it. Look at that. Oh, don't do it. Oh, he's barely hooked. Oh yeah, look at that. Solid 3-pounder. Guys, look at this right here. First one on the trip back, and this is the biggest one all video. Freaking huge head on this bass right here. All on the Quake 80 again. That natural color. I did mess up by coming back out here, and I did not bring pliers. That is never something you want to do, especially when throwing treble hook baits. But that is a beautiful 3-pound fish right there. Huge head on her right there. And that is a beautiful bass. You gotta love that. That is the biggest one in this video. We had 2 more that are around the same size, but this fish, I can just tell by holding it, is a lot heftier fish. Got a beautiful, just big fat head on that bass. And that is an awesome one right there. We're gonna get her right back in the water, see if we can catch another one. That was an awesome bite. I think I'm gonna have to toss her. As you guys can tell, it's a bunch of like mud. And I wanna get her back in the water, get her safe. Let's give her like just a little toss. All right, well, that was the first fish. Next thing we can do is keep on casting. Pow. Oh, that's a big one. That's a big one. Oh, yeah. I think I got her hooked weird. Yeah, I do. Gosh dang it. The fish felt so large. I got her like under the chin. Of course, we don't have any pliers. Oh, that is when you need pliers right there. I will say that. All right, so in this situation, I don't have pliers. I'm gonna grip this bass on his gill plates. That's gonna paralyze him right here. I have both of his gill plates down. I don't talk about this a lot. This is probably one of the most valuable things I'll ever talk about in kicking their bass. If you hold them how I'm holding them, they're paralyzed. And you gotta be firm with your grip. You can't be scared. You gotta go in, you gotta grab them, and you gotta manhandle them. And he'll be perfectly fine. You get the hook out of him, then you'll release him back in the water. Just like that. As you guys can tell, the bass is not flopping around. I can do whatever with this fish right now, and he is not going anywhere. Right there. Grip both of his gill plates down just like that. He can't do anything. See, if I put him in my hand, that's when he can shake. Obviously he's not right now. He knows I got him in control. But right here, grab their gill plates down, put some pressure on it. That fish is not going anywhere. We're gonna give him a toss back. I thought this fish was so big. I had him like hooked weird, like in the bottom. He just, oh, he felt so good. Little fat guy though. Thank you, bud. You know, I'm starting to think about it, and this is one of the biggest liplesses I've thrown. Like I said, this is the Quake 80. This one's fairly large. Like if I put this next to a regular lipless, this thing is way bigger than it. And I'm starting to think that that might be why these fish are feeling so big too, because, you know, this thing's like double the weight of a normal lipless, and it's just crazy, man. Everyone I've hooked just felt really big, and I'm doing the same thing as I was doing earlier. You know, nothing different. Caught 2 fish in the same spot. We might end up doing what we did last time, where you just keep on catching them in the same area. Might just be stacked on a different part of that drop off. Let me get this cast in. Oh gosh, hammered that thing. I don't think he's big. He feels big. Like I said, they all feel big because of this. Yeah, he's not even big. He's fighting good. Oh my gosh, I about took my head off of that lipless. All right, that was a good quick release. They really want this. That's a good one. It has to be a big one. I'm telling you guys, this is unbelievable how hard these fish. You better be big. You better be big, you pig. You look at him running sideways. Oh! Oh! Okay, okay. She's a solid 2.5, but I just don't understand why you feeling so big, girl. Look at that, that's a good fish. That was actually next cast when I about hit myself in the face with the lipless crankbait. So the last thing you want to do is throw a crankbait into your face. And that is a beautiful 2-pound bass. Gotta love it. They feel so large. I don't even know what a 5-pounder is gonna feel like on that lipless right there. That thing is literally making the fight twice as hard, which I kind of enjoy it. I like it. It makes every single fish seem big. And beautiful one right there. Get her right back in the water to swim another day. And we might have found them stacked out there. So I'm excited about that. 2 bites, 1 fat fish, many more to come. All right, guys, it's 2 bites and 2 casts. Maybe it's gonna be like that other spot. We've done that twice today, where we've thrown 2 casts back to back and hooked 2 fish, which is very exciting. You know, you gotta love that. But there might be more down there, which is always the question. I mean, if there's 2, there's gotta be 3, right? And if there's 3, there has to be 4. And if there's 5, I'd say there's probably about 25. Look at that, 3 casts in a row. Oh, he came off again. What? He ate it up on the flat. That is just unbelievable right there. See, they're stacked. That's where they're at. They're stacked out there. Guys, I didn't even have my camera on, but first cast, right out here, I hooked another one. Didn't even have my camera running. I wasn't even thinking about it. I just pulled up, first cast on this spot. A little small guy. About a pound, 1.5 pounds max. There we go, guys. Another little fish, only about a pounder, but it's thick and chunky guy. Toss him right back in the water. Give him a little toss. I should have tossed him further in that. Look at that, guys. That is insane. He's not even big. There's a bunch of small ones biting this huge quake right here. And I was already telling you guys, I was like, if we get bit on it, it's gonna be a big one. But we've had a ton of these little rinky dinky guys biting this Quake 80 over here. Those are the ones you gotta be careful. Those are the ones you gotta be careful on. Thank you, bud. Just give you a little toss.